You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.
Welcome to our next video in SC300 series, that is Azure Identity and Access Management series. In today's video, we are covering one of the most critical topics, that is RBAC, which stands for Role-Based Access Control. So let's get started. So what is RBAC? Well, role-based access control allows you to decide who can do what in your Azure environment. And that's it. So let's say you have a contractor who just want to audit your environment, just want to see how the structure looks like. Well, in that case, if that contractor logs in, nothing will be visible to that person. You have to give that person a privilege. So you will give reader role to that contractor. And now when the contractor logs in, according to this reader role, that contractor should be able to look at your environment, all the resources, all the policies you created, your users, the whole environment, but cannot change anything. On the other hand, if you want to give your employee the highest level of access so that that employee can do the job, well, you can give contributor role to that person. So there are many more roles like owner role, contributor, reader, and so much more. It all depends on the scope. So when we talk about scope now, in Azure, RBAC applies always to a certain scope. Scope means a boundary. Now, for that, you need to understand the hierarchy of Azure environment. Well, it all starts from your Azure account, then your tenant. And at tenant level, if you want to give someone permission, you don't use RBAC. You use Entra ID roles and administrative privileges. But after that, you have management groups. Inside management group, you have subscriptions. Inside subscriptions, you have resource groups. And inside resource groups, you have resources. So RBAC starts from management group level, then subscription, then resource group, and then resources. So if you apply RBAC privilege on management group level, well, then it will get inherited to subscription, resource group, and resources. So make sure if you want to give a person ability to work with a resource, don't give that person role at management group level. Give that or assign that person a role at that resource level. So hierarchy and the level of privilege actually matters. Now, Azure do include dozens of built-in roles. But if you don't want those built-in roles, you can also create custom roles when needed. Custom roles can be a mix of multiple roles together, which suits your scenario. Now, some built-in role we already discussed, like owner, which gives you absolute control, full control. You can do whatever you want, plus you can also play around with permission. The next one is contributor. With this, you can manage resources, but no access control. Then you have reader control, which only allow you to view your environment. And then we have custom roles, which are based on JSON definition. JSON means JavaScript object notation. So you literally have to script. And these roles can restrict actions precisely. So if you want to be very precise, you better create custom roles. And for that, you need more experience. Now, you can assign roles to users, plus user groups, as well as service principal, or even managed identities. So there are multiple identities you can apply this role to. Again, user groups, service principal, or even managed identities. So how will you do that? It's simple. First, you select the scope. So either you go to management group level, subscription level, resource group level, or resource level. Then you choose your role which you want. You pick the role you want to apply. Then you choose the identity or member you want to apply this role on. And then you just confirm and commit. And the role will be assigned, and that individual will be able to do the work almost immediately, or maybe ask that user to log in and log out. Now, you have to follow a principle of least privilege when you assign roles. This is actually security best practice. So, you should only give the access to someone who truly needs it. This is what least privilege is all about. Only give enough privilege which is used for that person's productivity. Nothing more, nothing less. And what will happen if you follow this principle? Well, it reduces the risk from inside threats or compromised accounts. So make sure if someone needs some permission over a very specific scope, don't make him or they make her the global admin. Of course, global admin will give that person full control. They can do their job, but do they have a lot of privileges now? They can mess up your environment. They can even delete your account. Now let's go to the portal and see how easy it is to apply RBAC to some users. All right, now let's check how you can apply RBAC on at least the resource group level. But remember, resource group is not the only place you can apply RBAC on. It starts from management group, then subscription, then resource group, and then resources. This is the hierarchy. The top level is the management group, and the lowest level is the resource itself. So let me create a demo resource group first. Let's say I have a resource group called Demo in Canada Central. And inside this resource group, I will run the project on, let's say, some application which I'm developing for HR, let's say. So it is obvious that this resource group will have then many resources which are interconnected and they're working with each other. Now, imagine I hired a person and I want to give that person full control over my resource. So I will go to Demo. Then I will go to Access Control IAM. Then I will click on Add Role Assignment. Here you will see that there are so many other roles. These are all resource level roles, very granular. But on top, if you click on Privileged Administrator Roles, this will show you the most privileged and critical roles, which you should assign to someone you trust. So if I make that person the owner, will he be able to, or will that person be able to control that resource group and resources? The answer is yes. That person can do the job pretty easily. But then, why do we have contributor? Because contributor also gives full control. The only difference is that when I make someone owner on a resource group, that person now can change the assignments itself. That person can kick me out if that person wants to do it, or make someone else the owner of that resource group. So for security purpose, this is very risky. And that is why the next best option is contributor. So I will click on the role I want to assign, then click next. This is where I have three options. Select the member. I can select the user. Let's say I will select myself. Okay. Or I can also select user group. Or I can select the service account itself. So if I want to give permission to, let's say, Azure Virtual Desktop. Now, AVD is not a user's application. I can apply this permission to this application as well. So once you choose your members, then just click on Select, click Next, Review and Assign. And here we go. Your RBAC is now assigned. Now, in the future, if you want to check that how many roles you assigned and to whom you assigned it to,
You will go to, again, IAM access control. On the scope level, you want to check the permission on. Then you will go to role assignments. This is where you will see all the roles assigned to different people. As you can see, there are some owners, which is me. Then there is a contributor, which I just applied. Then there are some user access administrators, which is coming from top. Now, if I am the owner and I also gave myself contributor, then yes, this is just a waste of resource and time because I anyhow have higher privilege. Now, what if you want to remove the privileges? Well, just select the user and click on delete. This will not delete the user account. The UPN will not be removed. Only the privilege is gone. Removed role assignments. And that's it. This is how you give permission to your users or group of users or even applications.
And that wraps up your beginner-friendly guide to Azure RBAC. You have learned how role works, what scope means, and how to assign roles to a user. Now, in the next video, we will dive into conditional access policies. So make sure that you subscribe to our channel and also enable the notification. And don't forget to like this video. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.